What in the world is you're talking about? All Muslims have condemned, condemning terrorism. Wait a minute, Bill O'Reilly.
Yes.
You should be happy that he's unindicted. You are unindicted.
Well, I wonder if he's going to condemn.
Indicted.
I wonder if he's going to condemn the attacks.
Is indicted. Being unindicted is something good, not bad.
Why is it good? Why is it good to have this radical imam
Being
there?
Unindicted is a good thing.
Assalamu alaikum, greetings of peace. Welcome to the Deen Show. You want to continue on talking about Muhammad Ali, the people's champ, America's champion. Last week we talked about him, and the week before, why not we finish off the month continuing talking about the American Muslim hero with the person who knew him personally, president of Sound Vision, who was also on the Spin Factor with Bill O'Reilly.
Let me tell you, I'm willing to bring you. There is going to be a conference of 10,000 people from 80 countries.
And I don't think that's good. I'll give you the last
Bill
word.
O'Reilly, many people, Bill told me, why are you going to on his show? Because many people consider you are a radical person. You need to build bridges of understanding among people, and we need to have America moving forward. This is the time for unity. This is not the time for division.
Bill O'Reilly trying to trip him up. He got tripped up, someone who's in the field of sharing this deen, clearing up the many misconceptions. And you know what? You guess how much is spent on bashing Islam? Over, I mentioned 159 million. This brother's telling us that over $200 million is spent on promoting hate of Islam and Muslims, what you can do about it, what you can go ahead, how you can make a difference about it. Here on the Deen Show, don't go anywhere.
This is the Deen Show. 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 This is the Deen Show.
Assalamu alaikum, greetings of peace. How are you, Sheikh?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ramadan Mubarak.
Oh, Ramadan Mubarak. Thank you for being with us here on the Deen Show.
Well, thank you for inviting me. It's a great day and a great deen.
Alhamdulillah. I'm going to show a clip, and I want to get your feedback on that. And from there, we want to talk about double standards. And we're going to let our audience see this, and then we'll come back and get your comments on it.
But at Sacramento's Verity Baptist Church, Pastor Roger Jimenez told his churchgoers,
what if you asked me, hey, are you sad that 50 pedophiles were killed today? No, I think that's great. I think that helps society. You know, I think Orlando, Florida is a little safer tonight. Now that 50, you know, the tragedy is that more of them didn't die. I mean, the tragedy is I'm kind of upset that he didn't finish the job.
Hey everybody, Pastor Stephen Anderson here from Faithful Word Baptist Church in Tempe, Arizona. And I just wanted to record a quick video about the news this morning about the shooting in Orlando. I guess a Muslim terrorist went into a gay bar and shot him up, and there's 50 sodomites, homosexuals that have been killed, and another 50 some odd injured. And then the Muslim guy himself was shot by the police, it sounds like. And here's the good news and the bad news about this. You know, the good news is that there's 50 less pedophiles in this world, because, you know, these homosexuals are a bunch of disgusting perverts and pedophiles. That's who was a victim here, are a bunch of just disgusting homosexuals at a gay bar, okay? And then I'm sure it's also going to be used to push an agenda against so-called hate speech. So Bible-believing Christian preachers who preach what the Bible actually says about homosexuality, that it's vile, that it's disgusting, that they're reprobates, you know, we're going to be blamed. Like, oh, it's all extremism. It's not just the Muslims, it's the Christians.
do you have any regrets about your statements during your sermon on Sunday?
I don't have any regrets about what I said, and I don't take anything back.
I would never take things into my own hands or become a vigilante. But I will say this, you know, the Bible says that homosexuals should be put to death in Leviticus 20:13.
Now, Sheikh, obviously this was a horrific event. Islam has nothing to do with such evil acts. When you look into this person's life, you obviously see, and usually when someone does a horrific act, like for instance you had the Britain First, the woman that was screaming Britain First, who killed that MP Joe Cox, and they're probably going to look in his life, see if he's mentally deranged or whatnot. But when it comes to Muslims, it seems like they want to connect the dot all the way always to Islam. So when you hear, anything, if a Muslim would have said something like this, mainstream media covers 24/7. What are your thoughts of that when you see this blatant, obvious double standard that's going on?
Oh, it's very clear. I mean, in the last year, more than 200 mass shootings took place in America. Only 2 places a Muslim were accused of doing that, but none of the other people were called terrorists. None of the other people has a focus. Actually, a professor of communication has done research that 80% of the focus of domestic terrorism is on Muslims, while Muslims are not more than 5% responsible for domestic terrorism. Yeah. So that is very clear. But I would say 2 elements play a role in there. Islamophobes. Islamophobes are a $200 million machine here.
Yeah, I just found that out. $200 million.
Yes, there are just 34 organizations, close-knit. They got PhDs and professors and public and whatnot, and they got huge funding. Show like Deen, the Deen show, probably struggles that couple of people are trying to keep up the flag up. Yeah. So does Sound Vision, which has been there for 28 years. But these people have $200 million behind them. What do? They do one thing. As soon as some crazy dude does something anywhere in the world, say, ha, you see, this is what Islam is all about. Islam is the problem. Quran is the problem. It's not one crazy person. So this is a Islamophobe using media very skillfully against Islam and Muslim. My question to you is, Brother Deen, what are you going to do about it? You're a media person.
We're trying to combat it. I think the solution is education. I think we need to make the human connection, and I think people who are sincere and they look into really what Islam is about, as many did after these tragic events such as 9/11, Amazon had the highest sale of Qur'ans. It was because people were curious and people wanted to know, and then they ended up accepting Islam. Can you imagine that? Because they saw through the rhetoric.
Yes, some of them, but after 9/11, there was 59% approval rating of Islam and Muslim in this country.
Now it's like 20, huh?
Now it's 17%. And that survey is before the Orlando tragedy. Yeah. So Muslims need to be more thoughtful instead of just spending money on disaster relief or helping our brothers and sisters, which is very genuine. And instead of just building a mosque, 90% of money going to mosque and
big minarets,
yes,
$100,000.
I would like to have a couple of minaret for Brother Deen, because you see, we need to stand up. Islamophobia is not a product because people have not read the Quran. People did not read the Quran 50 years ago, but there was no Islamophobia. Yeah. Islamophobia is product of our weakness. Yeah. And Islamophobes are hitting and being successful in manipulating media because we are not in the media, we are not taking a stand, we do not have coalition in the society, so we are weak in the society. So Muslims need to reset the budget, divert some of their funding towards strengthening themselves in the society, in the community, and also investing in the media.
So being more proactive in the media, educating people through the media, using this great resource like they're using against us.
Right.
I can't believe that. $200 million.
Brother, that's all which we know, because thanks to IRS return,
yeah,
there is much more money. $200 million does not include Fox Television, wow, which itself is $1 billion operation.
Yeah.
So we are facing a major thing, but this small group of Islamophobes, our neighbors are not Islamophobes. Our neighbors are just confused.
Yeah.
They didn't hear anything else because they were asked why you're against Islam and Muslims. And guess what? Majority of them say because of the media. Yeah. It's on the TV. Mm-hmm. So we need to be on the TV. We need to isolate Islamophobes from the mainstream media, bring our stories up. So media people need to be handled as though they're human being instead of just a big machine. Each Muslim individual, if you see something, say something.
Yeah.
See something what? You see on TV.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone and call them. Hey, what I see is wrong. Oh, how come you're not telling this? How come you're not saying that? About, Facebook is knocked off a good post about what terrorism was taking place in Orlando and what other factors are responsible.
Yeah.
Where's the Muslim voices? Speak up. Stand up. That's what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did with good words.
Speak up, stand up. We're going to take a break. Hamid, what do you think?
I think he's got some words of wisdom.
Got some good points there, huh? We're
Yeah, but underline Hamid says some. Hamid is very shrewd, brother.
We're going to take a break.
He's a big operative, I'm telling you. Don't let him go.
Millions are spent to get people away from Islam. We're asking you to contribute very little to help share and bring people to this beautiful way of life, Islam. Now, what are you going to do with that? How much are you going to put in? How much are you going to contribute to help us grow this channel, to continue the work? It's something that's incumbent on all of us. We've taken up the call. We're doing our small part. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from us and from you as you contribute. There's a link below. And we'll see you next time. Keep us in your du'as. Subscribe if you haven't already to get the newest show delivered to you. Every Friday we release it. Help support the dawah. Help support us spreading the message of peace and purpose to the world. Until next time, we'll see you. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you. Back here on the Deen Show. Sheikh, how you doing? How you been? Thank you for finding the time to be with us. You actually you were somebody who we just had probably the best PR that we've had in, decades, I would say. I won't say decades, but in a long time. And we had this individual who was an American, and many people, it's sad to say, they don't know that he was Muslim, even though his name spells it out. American hero Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
You actually, you spent time with him, you knew him personally, is that correct?
Oh, yes.
Tell us a little about that.
Well, brother Muhammad Ali, it's like all Muslims, we struggle with our faith, with our practices. But when it comes to faith, he was firm. When it comes to telling people about Islam, he was firm. And even in his death, he did a big favor to Muslim. For 1 week, America was talking about somebody named Muhammad Ali. And he fought for his name. Yeah. We did many things. We used to distribute, meat after Eid al-Adha. Problem was how to distribute to the poor. So I worked with Muhammad Ali, and he built a mosque in Chicago. Outside that mosque, we'll distribute that. But you will be happy to know I invited him to help the Bosnian cause. In those days, Muslims were not much known. Our leadership was not known. So we took him, and he readily, happily came to New York. We went to ambassador after ambassador to stop the crisis in genocide in Bosnia.
He was
he helped the cause. Then there was a rally for Palestine in Chicago, and I say, who cares for Muslim? So I said, Muhammad Ali, if you come, rally will be on TV. And guess what? Muhammad Ali came and joined, and that's where a CBS reporter asking me, why is he here? I said, because he supports Palestine. He said, no, why he support Palestine? I say, well, Muhammad Ali is a Muslim. Oh, I didn't know Muhammad Ali is a Muslim.
People don't know that.
It is Muhammad name, and people don't know.
This should be an example for kids changing their name. When you see this person now who is a living example of someone who in our day and age was proud to be one who submits to the will of the Creator like Jesus did.
No, people used to call him Clay, and he said, no, call me Muhammad Ali. Call me Muhammad.
Yeah.
He has a poem about this. He fought on his name. He forced people to accept his name. And children right now, about 30% of them don't use their Muslim name.
Changing their names.
So this is because of the pressure. But Muhammad Ali is an example. Muhammad Ali was not popular when he was doing. He's popular now. He was not popular. The people used to spit on him. People will refuse to use his name. And he will just say, I am what I am.
Yeah.
I don't remember exact phraseology which he had, but he say, I am what I am. It is my faith, not your faith. Yeah. It's my name. It's not your name.
I'm going to be what I am, not what you want me to be. Yeah.
So that is the attitude which America, our neighbors are good people. They have sense of fair hearing. When Muhammad Ali took a stand, initially people were saying, what is this and all that. People turn around.
Yeah.
People started loving him. Why? Because of the character of truthfulness. That's the character of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
Yeah. He used to pass out pamphlets with write his name on them, Muhammad. Did you know that?
I will tell you its story if you like.
Yeah,
I'll tell you the story. There used to be an American Muslim, Nikoniso Abdullah. He was an African American Muslim. He was a major in Saudi Arabia. He became a Muslim. He became president of Muslim Community Center right here in Chicago. very talented person, a business executive. So he wrote a brochure called Is Jesus Really God? So MCC refused to publish it because they thought it's too hot. So we both published it, and we both will stand on the south side, 95th Street on Dandelion Station. We used to distribute.
You and Muhammad Ali?
No. Me and Birda Nikoniso Abdullah.
Okay.
So somebody told Muhammad Ali that we distribute this brochure. So he came up with the 2 suitcases to MCC, say, give me brochure. So they gave him all sort of Islam, 5 pillars of Islam, and yes, 5 pillars of Islam and all that. He said, no, I don't need that. I need that one. And he showed them this, Jesus Really God.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali used to have his personal book, he showed me. And in that personal book, he has the from Bible and Quran, Jesus is not real God. So when he could talk, he used to argue with people on the streets and everywhere about that. That was his style.
Wow.
When he couldn't talk, those were the days when he found the brochures. Then he showed me a whole crawling bag, travel bag.
Yeah.
He will have full of those brochures. So whenever people see him, they will stop
Dawah
him.
pamphlets,
They will stop him.
Yeah.
It's an autograph. He said, no, I'm not going to write on that your paper. He will take out the Dawah brochure, is Jesus really God, sign them and give it to them. He used to tell me he signs 500 brochures in 1 hour. I have his photos with those things. He gave me a lot of those brochures.
Yeah, the IIIE, Dr. Amir Ali, he used to tell me the same exact.
Right. That's where we connected him with Dr. Amir Ali. May Allah be pleased with Brother Amir Ali.
This is amazing. Hamid, look, what's the excuse? If Muhammad Ali was doing it, most celebrities, they'll run and hide under a rock, they'll maybe change.
Not Muhammad Ali.
Not Muhammad Ali.
Even if you go on his museum, brother, I hope you will take your camera and visit the museum and tell the Muslim world about it and tell Americans about it. In the museum, of course, just like his life, Islam and name and all that is all over the museum. But then there is a large room which has no Muhammad Ali, just about Islam. Even his museum was focused on Dawah.
Yeah. Now, what do you think after a very short pause of the horrific images, that are always associated, these innuendos, you say, radical Islam, jihadists, the ISIS, these people have nothing to do with Islam. They're actually killing more Muslims. Many people don't know that. We've done many shows on this. And then there was a slight pause. Not even 36 hours later, you have this horrific tragedy that happened in Orlando.
Yeah.
How much do you think, would you say, is a lot of this stuff, I just can't, just for conversation, is cooked up? It just, obviously, Islam has nothing to do with this. You have all these other events that happen. You mentioned almost 300 mass shootings that happened in 2015. Their religion is not mentioned. They always look for mentally disturbed, what happened in their childhood. Soon as it's known the guy was in a nightclub, he was homosexual, he was beating his wife, doing everything opposite to Islam. If he was following Islam, he wouldn't be in his wrong place, wrong time. He wouldn't be doing any of these radical things. He'd be a peaceful person, making peace, doing what Muhammad Ali was doing. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I cannot speak to things which I don't know, but you just described the whole thing which even media is telling us. This guy was messed up. Guy has a huge type of personality problem. And his former wife might have bipolarity. And the current wife, poor girl, has low IQ, has difficulty learning. So I don't know the whole story there. But one thing which is clear, a person who was in that mosque where he once in a while visited, he says he called FBI and telling them that this person has some strange ideas and whatnot. And this article was printed in Washington Post, and Washington Post verified with FBI, and FBI said, yes, he did tell us. Well, what did you do about it?
So they did nothing, huh?
Yeah, that seems like it.
Yeah. So you do have these tragic incidents that are happening, but how much, there was I just saw some news. It's like taking the KKK, for instance. I make this example, and constantly showing the KKK on the mainstream media. People are going to end up joining KKK. They're going to rally support, and then people are going to start thinking that that's mainstream Christianity. It's like these subliminal messages are being sent. It's constantly 24/7. ISIS, Daesh, like we got other things to worry about. This fringe element, you're just giving them the platform to promote themselves and their ideas.
Oh, brother, there'll be no ISIS or nothing if we haven't for nothing invaded Iraq.
There was no such thing. We're not talking
Now
about
we
this.
have 5 Muslim countries completely destroyed, invasion of 9 countries, and drone attacks on the other one. According to Physicians for Social Responsibility, which is a Nobel Peace winning organization in Washington, D.C., only in 3 countries, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Pakistan, they say 1.3 million Muslims have been killed because of the war. War, terrorism, and hate, Islamophobia, is a connected phenomena. You cannot stop it one thing unless you stop the other thing. So it is important for Muslims and our neighbors to stand up against war. The whole ISIS phenomena didn't exist.
No.
It came because a whole country was devastated, then another country was devastated, then another country. So some people go nuts, some people go crazy. I mean, in Chicago, 40 people were shot. On the same weekend, 50 people died in Orlando. Why you're not crying about what happened in Chicago?
That just happened last couple of weeks ago, yeah.
Exactly the same weekend, brother.
Same weekend, yeah.
7 people died, rest of the people were injured. So I think we need to be very firm. All assault weapons need to be banned. Our media need to be balanced in coverage. But Muslim owe this to America to isolate Islamophobes who are increasing fear, hate, and anger in America. Our neighbors are good people. Islamophobes using media skillfully are confusing our neighbors.
Those are the real radicals right there.
They are the mother of radicals, brother.
They have more in common. We're going to take a break now. They have more in common with these extreme elements.
Oh, they are the same people.
Yeah, the same, yeah. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back with more here in the Deen Show. Don't go anywhere.
Subscribe to The Deen Show. Follow us on our official Facebook and Twitter pages in the links below. Please also help support The Deen Show by making a donation in the link below.
Welcome back to the Deen Show. Now, you were on the O'Reilly Show, and it was interesting. He was always trying to, I mean, it's one thing coming on a program and you're working to a good cause, you know, for a common good. Seems like these people always trying to trip you up, always trying to, and then you got to a point where he's talked about, you know, some of the, you had this wonderful, this convention where Stand with Prophet Muhammad.
Stand with the Prophet,
yeah,
against hate, in love and peace.
So did he end up showing up? Because you invited him.
I invited him. They brought the truck,
yeah,
but where they were supposed to be in the press conference, meeting the guests, I texted them several times, they didn't show up. They wanted to go inside our program, and program was going on, and stick mic to people. I say, I will not allow you to play games inside our program.
Yeah, there was one thing, he said something to you about unindicted co-conspirator. You said that's a good thing, being unindicted.
Yeah. Wait a minute, Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah.
You should be happy that he's unindicted. You are unindicted.
Well, I wonder if he's going to condemn.
Indicted.
I wonder if he's going to condemn the
America is
attacks.
indicted. Being unindicted is something good, not bad.
Why is it good? Why is it good to have this radical imam
Being
there?
unindicted is a good thing.
Why?
Because you are not indicted. If there was something, you will be indicted. Siraj
I thought you said
is not
invited.
a radical
All right,
imam.
indicted. Okay.
He stands up for
Well, we
peace
bought, you
and
know, you can
justice in his
buy
neighborhood.
Imam. You
I mean, Bill O'Reilly is unindicted. I'm unindicted.
Yeah.
Are you indicted, brother?
No. Thank
Okay,
God.
so you're
Thank
unindicted.
God.
So we got a good company going here. So whole America is unindicted, and it is a good thing for America.
Yeah.
So they were using being unindicted against Imam Siraj Wahaj as though it is some type of a curse or something.
Yeah.
So I think that was fine.
Yeah, and then he started, what do you think about this term, this cliche now that's all out there? They keep throwing out radical Islam.
Yeah, so I thought he was radical because
Yeah.
the fact of the matter is that when they invited me on the show, I was sick that day. Actually, as soon as I was done with the show, I started praying Maghrib. In second rakah, I threw up. I couldn't finish my salat. So I didn't want to go, but Sound Vision team voted that I must go there.
Yeah.
So Allah helped me out. And but reason people wanted me not to go is people thought he's a radical activist. He's not a normal media. So I ended up telling him when he used the term radical, because the people coined the term, they stick it to people.
Yeah.
But Condoleezza Rice, Secretary of State at the time of President Bush, she is the first one who stopped using this radical Islam and fascism Islam and Islamic terrorism. She's the one who stopped. I went and I personally thanked her on this. And President Obama continued not attaching these things, and now this Trump want to use the same terminology. Why call criminal a criminal? I mean, in Chicago, 40 people were shot,